The Santa Margherita lines, also known as the Firenzuola lines, are a line of fortifications in Cospicua, Malta. They were built in the 17th and 18th centuries to protect the landfront defences of the cities of Birgu and Sengli. A second line of fortifications, known as the Cotonera lines, was later built around the Santa Margherita lines. While the city of Cospicua was founded in the 18th century within the Santa Margherita and Cotonera lines, the Santa Margherita lines have been on Malta's tentative list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites since 1998, as part of the Knights fortifications around the harbours of Malta. History. The foundation stone of the Santa Margherita lines was laid on 30 December 1638 by Grandmaster Giovanni Paolo Lascaris. The lines were designed by Vincenzo Maculino da Firenzuola, and were meant to protect the land fronts of Birgu and Sengli, and also to prevent a flanking attack on the capital Valletta. The lines were built on Santa Margherita Hill, possibly on the ruins of an ancient Greek temple or an earlier castle. The hill is featured in the account of the Great Siege of 1565 by arquebusier Francesco Balbir di Correggio, who mentioned that a belvedere existed on it. When the three central bastions were completed in 1645, construction work stopped due to a lack of funds. The lines remained unfinished for many years, and they became known as Fort Santa Margherita or Fort Margherita. In the 1670s, the Cotonera lines were built around the still unfinished Santa Margherita lines, but construction of the new fortifications was suspended in 1680 with the death of Grandmaster Cotona. Construction of both the Santa Margherita and the Cotonera lines resumed in 1715. At the time of completion in 1736, the Santa Margherita lines consisted of 5 bastions, 2 demi-bastions, 6 curtain walls, 3 gateways, at least 2 sally ports, a ditch, a covertway with lunette, and a glacis. The British modified the lines in 1850s with the construction of Fort Verdala and St. Clement's retrenchment. The latter connected the Santa Margherita lines with the Cotonera lines. In the late 19th century, the western part of the lines was demolished to make way for an extension of the Malta dockyard. The rest of the lines still exist today, but they are in a dilapidated state. Modern roads breach some of the bastions and curtain walls. Layout. The Santa Margherita lines as completed in 1736 consisted of the following bastions and curtain walls. A stepped wing linking the Birgu land front to Firenzuola bastion. It is breached by a modern road. Firenzuola bastion, a small asymmetrical bastion. An unnamed curtain wall linking Firenzuola and Star Margherita bastions. It is breached by a modern road. Star Margherita bastion, a small arrowhead-type bastion, now incorporated into Fort Verdala. Verdala curtain, a curtain wall linking Street Margherita and St. Helen bastions. It contains Verdala Gate, and is incorporated into Fort Verdala and St. Clement's retrenchment. St. Helen bastion, a large bastion forming the central part of the lines. Its upper part is incorporated into Fort Verdala. St. Helen curtain, a curtain wall linking Street Helen and St. John Arminer bastions. It contains Street Helen's Gate, which is Cospicua's main gate, and 2 modern openings to allow the passage of traffic. It was originally defended by a tenai and a lunette, which were dismantled in the 19th century. St. John Arminer bastion, a 2-tiered bastion designed by Charles-François de Mondien in the early 18th century. Its left face is breached by a modern road. An unnamed curtain wall linking Street John Arminer and St. Francis bastions, containing a blocked-up sally port. Its lower half was demolished in the 19th century to make way for the extension of the dockyard. St. Francis bastion, a bastion which was demolished in the 19th century to make way for the extension of the dockyard. St. Raphael demi-bastion, a demi-bastion which was demolished in the 19th century to make way for the extension of the dockyard. The 19th century additions by the British were Fort Verdala, a fortified barracks built along Verdala Curtain, St. Clement's Retrenchment, a retrenchment linking the Santa Margherita lines to the Cotonera lines.